I want to do a video on the importance of rattle. Probably haven't talked much about this, but this is a really good way to get consistency in your reed making, because you don't really know what the piece of cane is going to do until you start scraping it. If you make reeds this way by establishing a certain kind of rattle, you will have better luck in getting that consistency that you're looking for. We start by just getting the tip going. And we want long scrape for the tip. Long, kind of a flat scrape. Make sure the cane is well soaked. That's important when you're making reeds. You don't want to make reeds with dry cane. They usually don't last very long. And focus on removing from the tip. Now I tie my reeds at about 73, so I have a little room to work with. And we're just kind of doing a flat scrape. That's all. You want to maintain a certain profile that's relatively straight when you look at the sides of the reed. See that? That's what you're going for. Every once in a while you can try the reed, play it, and see what it's doing. That's a good idea. It'll give you an indication of how much you need to scrape. Yeah, that needs a lot more soaking. So we make sure that it's soaked well in order to get the full effect of the reed's vibration. The tip is coming along. Really nothing special about it. It looks a little French too, doesn't it? That curve in the middle. Once we have that, and it is peeping a bit, we will scrape the channels or scrape the area of the heart so that it has a nice blend into the beginnings of the tip. And this is where we're going to establish that rattle relationship. Now, if you approach the reed this way, you know, it really doesn't matter if the cane is really hard or soft, the gouge is hard or soft. You'll have a similar result if you get this rattle similarly. All right, let's try it and see what we have. That's what we have thus far. Very simple. That's got great rattle. It's got lots of it, and it's very free. Yeah. Kind of all over the place. So I'll try to just put a little definition. This will change the rattle, because there's really no definition, but we're going to put a little bit in the corners here. Not much. That will change the rattle a little bit. And that's it. That's terrific rattle. That's what you want to shoot for when you're making the reed. That kind of a rattle. And we haven't removed all the bark, but we have established that the tip and the heart are vibrating fairly well. Now what I do, people have different approaches to the reed from here on out, but what I'll do is I'll try to get it to a C. Clip it to a C, so we're not working with so much material. That's about a C. Clip to a millimeter and a half off. We'll see what length we've got. Yeah, it's about 72. That's about right. Now usually I'll define the tip a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot in the beginning stages. You don't have to go too far with it, but you just put some definition in there. You know where it's going to be after you measure it. All right. And now we'll remove the back. And I like to put a little catch depending on the kind of reed. And it's about halfway up to begin with. The harder the cane, I find the more catch you have to have in there. Softer cane, weaker gouges, not as much. It helps to keep things vibrating forward. It also helps to get the reed to vibrate more. Alright, let's see what we have. Now it'll be much flatter. Almost back to rattle territory, right? So we're going to clip it again till we get it to about a C. Still flat. No, that's about a C. And it's probably around, I would imagine it's about 71, maybe a little less. Yeah, it's about 71, and that's a good place to be. Now we're going to define the tip, because it's all vibrating really nicely. I'm going to put some definition in. Which helps filter the reed. I know I've said that, you know, regardless of the type of cane you have, if you can approach the reed this way, you'll get a lot of consistency. And the best reed makers that I've studied with and worked with, they do the reeds this way. This is how they make their reeds. And they are really incredible players and reed makers. Because, you know, you really have to be a decent reed maker to be a great player. And most of the really terrific players that I've known are also excellent reed makers. Alright, let's see what we got. So we have some definition. Little definition. Of course, this will make it flat as well. This will bring the pitch down. But that's okay. We're going to clip it, and we should be pretty close. That's about a C. Might be a little long. It's just above 70. Let's play it. It plays very well. The nice thing about it is when you do a reed this way, it's very stable. It doesn't move around too much. It's like when you play it, it remains where it should be. I'm going to do some more refining because it needs it. I'm going to try to refine it a bit. We're not going to finish the reed, but we're going to try to get it so that it's stable and it has a nice tone and it responds well. And I'll try thinning the corners a little bit as well. Because that really has a great impact. I'll try to do this so you can see, and I can see. There we go. Probably have to clip it another time. little flat. I'm going to clip it just a hair. No, it plays pretty well. It's not finished, but I will leave the reed from this point. I'll leave it, let it dry out, and then come back and do a little bit more work with it, maybe the next day. Put it in your case, let it dry out. This is a terrific way to establish that relationship between the tip and the heart right off the bat. And so you get the reed to vibrate, be stable, play well, sound nice. All right, keep that in mind, and good luck with that.